Hello and welcome to the Three Man Weave College Basketball Podcast, coming to you live on a Friday in March. Oh, delicious. It's March. The madness is here. Conference tournaments have begun, and the boys are very excited. We're going to talk some conference tournaments today, touch on 16 of them, maybe half next week as well. We'll see. Well, at least we'll catch you up on next week's tournaments. Some of them I think will tip before we get to our next episode. Before all that, I'm jumping the gun. Hi, it's good to see everybody out there. Jim, how are you? You're in a closet.
Yeah, I'm good. It's sort of a bunker, Kai. I am dog sitting once again for those listeners familiar with my lifestyle. It's pretty much basketball and dog sitting at this point. And in March, especially, that is true. But I'm pumped about it. I got a real friendly, loving, cuddly boxer I'm taking care of this week. And that pairs perfectly like a fine wine with a well-aged steak. It pairs perfectly with conference tournament basketball, Matthew. So I am in the prime of my life. How are you doing, Matthias?
I'm good. I'm still peaking. I wouldn't say prime, but hopefully that's right around the corner. Always be,
Peeking. Always be
always be
peeking.
peaking.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. I'm great. I'm permanently dog sitting. My pup's right behind me here, George on the windowsill. So, uh, dogs are good, Kai. You should get one. You should stop hating. Quit looking at
I
them on your
should.
algo and just go ahead and pull the trigger.
It's not a hate thing. I need to get allergy shots. So I got to take that step first, which apparently is a huge commitment. Who knew? Uh,
Like it's an ongoing thing.
oh, yeah.
It's not just like
It's
a one and done
every
vaccine.
week,
That's
every
tough.
week for a year. And then it's like every 2 weeks for another year, too. And then,
What?
yeah, it's, uh, it's a thing.
Okay, yeah. I'd
With
stay
all
out of
the
the dog
modern
business then.
technology, somehow allergies has escaped the ability to be cured. I understand. Whatever. It's cats and dogs, which we love. Okay, the show today, standard. We're going to talk Roots Roundup, get you caught up a little bit on some news and notes. Talk We Saw That, get you caught up on, heck, stuff we saw, some tournament highlights as well. And, of course, some regular season stuff. The big boys are still out there playing regular season ball, so we will talk about them for a bit. We will talk conference previews near the end of the show in place of our three-man thoughts section. A couple game previews for the weekend, and we'll send you on your way with reviews. I think we have 4 of them. Some are short, and they are lovely, and they are 5 stars. 3MW underscore CBB is where you can find us on Instagram and Twitter. And that's it. That's the only social media platforms I think we do. But please do subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us reviews. We will read them at the end of the show. iTunes reviews we'll read. I still can't figure out how to read our Spotify reviews. I know they're out there, so appreciate it if you're leaving them. The YouTube channel, we are live right now at 7 a.m. Central on a Friday. We also have a Best Bet show on this channel. Check it out, subscribe, join us if you want to see us live and want to see our faces or watch the recording later. It's always there. Go back to the old episodes, check them out, like the button, or whatever you do on YouTube to help us out. Finally, join Basket Under Review. That is the new hot college basketball company taking the world by storm. It's Trilly Donovan's brainchild, and a bunch of really talented folks have joined it as well, in addition to us. And if you subscribe, there's a link to the website in the description, as well as the Discord. You get access to both the Discord and the website. Lots of college basketball articles, lots of previews, conference tournament stuff going out there right now. And of course, chatter all you want with us and more people in the Discord. Did I miss anything? Jim.
I would just mention that we're going to be doing like a tickets punched series.
Very nice.
So for anybody that is excited about these small conference winners, you want to learn more, would you like to know more? Well, we will have some information on that. A bunch of the writers of Baskin Review are going to be churning those out over the next 12 days, 10 days, something like that. Yeah, 10 days. I believe the first ticket is punched on Saturday in the OVC, and then it's just a free-for-all for the next 7 days leading up to Selection Sunday. So we'll have that little grouping. I don't think we have 100% nailed down what the coverage is going to be for the NCAA tournament, but rest assured there will be plenty of content coming from the Burr crew.
Looking forward to it. As always, okay, that's it for the intro. Let's head over to Roost Roundup. Jim, round us up.
Let's do it. Let's round it up. Let's talk news and notes. We're going to start with I just put this in. There's a memo sent by the NCAA to all teams about travel for the NCAA tournament and some concern over the shortage in private jets available and whether there's going to be logistical nightmares getting everybody from their campus to their college basketball, the NCAA tournament site. Sounds like it could be a mess, Kai. It's something, are you going to be looking at this for handicapping a team that gets a late flight out to San Diego from the East Coast? If Mick Cronin's team takes a while to get to the East Coast, I'm curious if this actually like has some sort of filter down effect on the tournament. I don't know. This is not a typical memo sent by the NCAA, but the one note I really liked about it is that this is a logistical problem every year, a little bit. And it is part of why they have been debating whether to expand the tournament or not, because it would just get even incrementally more frustrating if there were 76 teams they had to transport.
Can we fly commercial, Matthew? Can we just try it? Like Southwest takes the Missouri basketball team down to wherever.
My take is could, but what they don't let teams book their own travel if they have the finances, right? Don't they sort of restrict that? Which I think like maybe you could just say, hey, top 25 programs who, print money like the Fed, probably they can, book their own private charter and maybe save some resources for the SWAC and MEAC, who I'm sure are going to be busing 16 hours to Dayton on Thursday morning, which I'm sure will be a fun experience. I don't get this, Jim. I guess there's probably like some FAA or logistical thing, but
Well,
yeah,
partial government shutdown,
yeah.
in addition to a bunch of other stuff. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to be keeping an eye on it because it was surprising to see and it was reported on, and I thought like, hey, that's something that people ought to know. Okay, let's get
Oh,
to
Jim,
coaching news.
we need
What,
to.
Matthew? What do you got?
We just totally ignored our sponsor, who we love dearly,
That's true.
Good
We
point.
got to give a shout to CVB
and
Analytics,
it's top of mind
who
because I'm talking with Nick today, the chairman of CB Analytics, so it's fresh of mine. I have to
there we
defend him.
go.
We've been talking about it all year. You guys, if you're not subscribed, you should be. The holy grail of college basketball data. We have sung the praises of their visualization tools with the shot charts, both at the team and player level, which you can filter and slice and dice by all sorts of context, time, opponent. But what we love now is we talked about the conference tournament simulation percentages, which are both pre-tournament and now we actually have in-tournament live updates. I'm looking at the Sunbelt page right now. Georgia Southern, Kai, after two Mondo wins in the Stairway to Heaven, are now a 2% chance to win it all. It's got to be depressing. It just sort of shows you how screwed
They're
those
still
teams at the bottom of the
five
bracket
away.
are. Yeah, that's way after a 2-0 start. The point is, folks, a million good tools for fans, coaches, super users alike. Sign up today. Use our promo code WEAVE, WEAVE. Get you $40 off your subscription. Thank you to Nick and Team at CBBAnalytics.com. Jim, sorry, back to you. The rock is yours.
Don't you dare apologize for shouting out CVB Analytics. They've been a vital resource, integral to the Stats by Will and Jim show over on Basket Under Review, being able to have a lot of data to go to war with that. So thank you to Nick and crew and to CVB Analytics. Make sure you sign up, folks. March. What better time to sign up for CVB data than right now? Okay, continuing into coaching news, where Kai and I will be feeding Providence fans crow. Will we, Kai? I think so, a little bit. Providence is letting go of Kim English after 3 seasons of under 500 basketball overall, not just in Big East play, overall under 500. Well, Kai. He's going to finish out the year, but it turns out the media charm was not enough to be a winner.
I've debated how to go about this, Jim, and I'm going to take the high road here a little bit.
Good guy, Kai.
Listen,
Wow.
we don't get a whole lot of stuff exactly right. We got this one exactly right. We told you from the start, Providence fans, it was a horrible hire. Come on. I do think, I hope Kim will be take a different approach in his next job. I think he will get another head coaching job, probably at a little lower level. He's just, a bit of a cock to the media, to put it lightly. He's a bit in his own head sometimes, Jim. And if he approaches the game with a little more humble attitude, maybe it'll result in wins and a better cohesive locker room. I don't know. Just some friendly advice from a guy who is exactly our own age and got this job after 3 mediocre seasons at George Mason.
Two mediocre
Two
seasons in
mediocre
George Mason.
seasons.
Yeah. I mean, he's still young with upside and did a nice job getting players for the most part, and thought he made a really good assistant hire. The offense was clearly better this year, revamped. That was I think a humble choice to turn the offense over to somebody else bringing on staff. But yeah, it didn't quite work out. Now I will say I posted this in the Discord. I was excited that my Missouri Tigers did not hire Mr. English,
Yeah.
but I also said I would be totally okay with Mizzou hiring Kyle Neptune. So perhaps my assessments are not a 1 out of 100% constantly. So had to eat a little crow while also feeding it there. I swung and missed. But Matthew, would you care to comment here, or is this just a Kai and Jim section on the Friars?
No, I'd like to add that I was more on the Georgetown Cooley thing was not going to work. So I think as a collective, we really nailed the overall Providence fallout of that carousel. Also, to your point, Jim, the Tibaldi hiring the offensive guru from the Cavs, very curious where he lands. Like, arguably did a fantastic job for on Kimmy's teams who have not been great offensively. Like, they look really good offensively. I think Kimmy does deserve some credit for that because I thought they recruited some very unique skill players to make that offense look good. But very curious where Tibaldi lands if he stays in college. I assume the smart people know that's going to be a pretty good hire if they can scoop him, unless he stays with Kimmy, which I doubt he will. Feels like
He's,
that would
he's
Yeah,
not,
and
he's
who
not
knows
getting an
if
immediate head coaching job. There's no way.
no
yeah, I
way,
don't,
right? Yeah.
don't think he would parachute to like right back to the A10. That would be surprising, but we'll see. Yeah, Tibaldi did such a good job. Like any high major that needs offensive tweaking, I don't know,
I liked
Cincinnati,
watching
perhaps.
Providence play offense. Um,
Yeah, I would
I did.
agree.
I'll just say
I'd agree.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, let's keep moving here. Lamar let go of Alvin Brooks. Tennessee Tech let go of John Pelfrey. Neither of these really came as too much of a shock, Kai. It probably was time for both to go in a new direction.
I tell you what, I'm a little surprised about Alvin Brooks. He turned Lamar around and had 2 amazing years, and then, as we were prepping for the show, Lamar didn't even make the Southland tournament. That's shocking. That team was top 4, top 5 heading into the year in this conference, and I thought he had a lot of momentum. Heck, they weren't even that bad this season from a Lamar program perspective in Kempom. I'm a little surprised about that one.
Yeah, 34th in continuity, minutes continuity. So like
Yeah.
they actually brought a lot back and started 7-7 in the league and then lost 8 straight to end the year. And clearly that was
Ugh.
not acceptable for the administration there. Yeah, I see people. Somebody in the chat just made fun of my background. It is not the most engaging hoops display. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm trapped in a closet, but it feels like it a little bit. Okay,
Tennessee Tech. Who's taking that job? I'm just like thinking about like the ranking my like of all the jobs I'd want the least. That has to be probably top 5 for me.
Their football program is awesome now.
Hey, maybe
Is it
that
really?
means money is on
Yeah,
the way, Kai.
yeah.
Money could be on the way. Yeah, I'm not sure, Matthew. You're gonna have to. You're not getting the top assistant off a Power Five staff. You're gonna
No.
have to poach one of
Right.
the young ones and hope they're excited about rebuilding something that has never really been built in the
How
first
many
place.
Schulmans are out there? Is there another Schulman we can bring in?
Man,
Yeah, why not?
I think if you got a big deep pocketbook, as I said, get the both Shulman brothers. They're co-head coaches. I'd love that. Central Arkansas, UT Martin, get them both.
There you go. All right, that's really it for the roundup, quite honestly, Kai. So if we can keep
Okay.
moving here into we saw that. I didn't have a whole lot of news and notes out there. Thankfully, we have no injury section really, unless I
Yes,
missed one.
of course. Good to hear that. Yeah, knock on wood. If we missed one, don't call them out. We don't want to see injuries. We don't want to hear injuries. Talk about injuries as well. It's okay. We have a lot of conference tournaments to catch up on later in the show here, so I'm fine with a short roundup, Jim. Let's head into we saw that headliners, conference winners in the power leagues. Michigan, congrats! You won the league easily by 3, 4 games. I didn't
It
see the
is, I think
current.
it's three right now, but then
Yes, 3
they
right now.
still could win by four, theoretically, because they don't lose. So that helps.
Remember, Michigan State won by 3 games last year. It has been a bit of a I'm on top and everyone else is behind me sort of situation in the Big Ten in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, they're up three on Michigan State, and they host Michigan State on Sunday.
okay, so
So
4 games
could
then.
very easily be four.
Yeah. Speaking of, Matthew, your Florida Gators 3 games up on the SEC, and they have clinched their conference tournament. Good team, good solid team.
Yeah, that's my best future ticket in my portfolio. I got 13-1. So I'm sure Jim has like 100-1.
To win the SEC?
No, to win the whole damn thing.
I've got him 25-1 from preseason.
God, you rat! Of course you did. So annoying.
I'm like 13.
I think they're like. I mean, they're like part. To me, yeah. I mean, I think they should be priced comparatively to Michigan at Arizona at this point,
but not Duke, Matthew, who has officially won the ACC. They smoked Virginia. By the way, all these teams pretty much smoked their last opponent. Michigan smoked Illinois. Florida smoked Arkansas. Duke smoked Virginia. It's like there's no question. It was a
statement weekend for the elites. The elites were like, all right, this is kind of like, as we come down the stretch, how good are you? Oh, yeah? We'll watch you.
They're rolling up their sleeves. They're like, all right, we're refined. We're a finished product. Let's do this now.
Throw in Arizona, who smoked Iowa State. Those 4 teams are probably going to make the Final Four. just put it. I parlayed. There's a book or two that lets you parlay Final Fours. I parlayed Michigan and Duke. I think it's a pretty good bet if you want to do betting stuff. I just don't. And you know what? If it doesn't happen, great. I'm fine with the Evil Empire going down early or Michigan going out early. All good.
Real quick. You know what injury we missed is LJ Kaysen. Kai, how worried are you about that with Michigan? They almost lost at Iowa, and that does take away their extra juice off the bench, a little bit of insurance policy for Elliot Cadeau. He was playing much better of late. I think he was averaging 12 points a game in the 6 leading up to his ACL tear. So any concern for you there?
0.
0?
Yeah. No, it's got to be higher than 0.
I'll say like 20%. Matthew.
I'd say 15. I don't know what that magnitude means, but I'm with you, Jim. You got to have some Cadeau insurance. I know he's been great, but your goal is to win a title, 6 straight games. Odds of him playing awesome in all 6 probably not that high. And then the way he plays, he can be like a liability occasionally.
Realistically, he only needs to play well in like 3 games. I'm not worried about him playing well against a 16 seed or an 8 seed.
That's true. Yeah, fair.
But I mean, like having watched, for instance, the Northwestern game where Kaysen basically rescued Michigan. Like they were sluggish in the first half. They couldn't get anything going. Then Kaysen buried a bunch of shots early in the second half, and suddenly Michigan was off to the races and came all the way back. I think it was nice to have that variable. Their margin for error is a little thinner now because you're reliant on fewer people. It's probably going to be a little more McKinney, a little more Roddy Gale. We'll see. But to Kai's point, hey, if you want to go parlay Duke and Michigan or Duke and Arizona, I would not begrudge you. It probably makes sense.
2%.
Sorry, guys,
2%.
real quick tangent.
Yes.
I was trying to understand this. So there's basically 5 teams vying for 4 spots on the one line. Is that fair to say? UConn being the team we haven't really mentioned yet.
Yep. UConn's probably the favorite to the 4th one.
Right.
Yeah.
So how does the 2 seed get allocated then to the top 1 seed? What's the updated ruling with that?
The 5th ranked team in the S curve cannot be with the number 1. That is
the
not
number 1
allowed.
overall. Okay.
Number 1 overall. And then it would just go geographically. So if UConn gets it in the South, Florida can't be with Duke, presumably in the East. And then Florida would probably go south to Houston because that's closer than.
So yeah, Midwest, I mean, kind of the fight for that number 1 overall seed's huge. I wonder if these these teams like realize that, like to get that 1 overall seed to avoid either Florida or UConn, I think is, with all due respect to Houston, Michigan State, Illinois, I just feel like those 5 teams, the UConn Florida thing would be you'd like to duck that as your 2 seed.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
I know Duke fans were talking about this, so I was sort of speaking from my Duke echo chamber here, but that's something to watch. The 5 for 4.
I'm certain. I don't know. I'm a little less worried about it if my. I don't want to say it. If it's UConn, I'd be a little less worried because predictably they're just nowhere near the level of the rest of these other teams. But Hurley in March, Hurley outside the Big East is just a different animal than he is in conference. We've seen that time and time again in that league. So I'll take it back, UConn fans.
Duke fans automatically assume they're in the Elite 8. Must be nice. Good program.
And remember when Zion almost lost to UCF, Kai?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's easy. See the tweet about John Shire having as impressive of a start as Brad Stevens to his college coaching career? I mean, that's a load of crap, Matthew. Same record.
I do think Shire not who's your ACC coach of the year, Kai? Who would you pick?
Shire.
Okay. Yeah, I pick Shire for sure.
Very good.
Yeah, you win the league by a
Yeah.
couple games. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, Big East up for grabs. We talked about UConn a little bit, but it's St. John's or it's UConn for the 1 seed. As I understand it, pretty much all tiebreaker right now, unless St. John's loses outright, I suppose. But
The only it all comes
they
down to St.
have the
John's.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, comes down to St. John's Seton Hall tonight, Friday, as we were recording. If St. John's wins, they're the 1 in a tiebreak, probably, assuming UConn beats Marquette. If St. John's loses, then UConn would take the 1 seed based on sweeping Seton Hall. So there you go, Kai.
Yeah,
It's
no,
nice that at least there's one conference race that matters on
yeah.
the final weekend.
No matter if UConn loses, if Seton Hall or St. John's loses, it's UConn. So the tiebreaker would flip.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Interesting. St. Mary's won the last Gonzaga St. Mary's regular season game ever. Well, at least we assume. I hope they keep the rivalry going. But Gonzaga is playing in the new Pac-12 next year, and the two split the title. St. Mary's definitely in the tournament, Jim, at large.
Yeah, they've earned it. They've got unbelievable metrics. I really hope we get the final rubber match in the WCC Tournament Championship. Apologies to Santa Clara because they probably need that semifinal win over St. Mary's to earn it at large. But I just need Gonzaga St. Mary's one last time, Matthew, from the Orleans. Probably a slow game. I will bet the under once again. I hope we get that just for old time's sake.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I but Santa Clara is my story there. I just want to see them in. This week was a really annoying week for me watching Ohio State do what they did and these who gives an F bubble teams get out of here. So yeah, come on, Bronx, come on Herb.
Randy Bennett, pretty good coach. Fifth straight season, St. Mary's top 25 KenPom, and they were preseason 55 this year. They lost a lot of guys. He's an incredible coach. Underrated by the
best
national
coaching
scene.
job in the last 10 years for him. I think maybe longer
This year. Yeah.
I think so.
Not to make this a carousel rumors thing, but there had been in the Discord, Trillian, somebody else maybe mentioned that Sendek to Providence is not completely unrealistic. Randy Bennett to Arizona State, not completely unrealistic. Well, I mean, with the WCC losing Gonzaga, I could see either of them wanting to move to a bigger backyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that would pave the way for Bennett to let one of his assistants, McConnell and who's the other? His assistants are all stud players. They're all great coaches. What's the other guy who's there?
I don't remember which one. I know Joyner left him to go to Michigan, and Joyner's now a finalist for Oregon State.
Is Nar? I think it's McConnell and Nar, maybe.
Emmett Nar? Oh, what a name pull there.
I think he would want to maybe kind of give his guy the opportunity. I don't know. I'm just speculating. That would make sense for me if he does actually make a move to Tempe, where he is from, actually.
Wow.
Oh, Rayhan. Sorry. Rayhan and McConnell are the two associates.
Okay.
Gales talk. They like that.
Yep.
Big bubble weeks, guys. TCU, yeah, they're in, Jim. They're in. They won at Texas Tech. They've won 7 of 8. Boy, you talk about a roller coaster ride for the Horned Frog fans. Losing to New Orleans to open the year, looking out the entire season, and now they're for sure in the tournament right now.
Yeah, you throw in the choke job at Kansas when they had it won at Allen Fieldhouse and they blew that, and it was like, well, how are we ever going to make up for the New Orleans loss if we have this one too? But just taking care of business. They beat every other Big 12 bubble team. They finally unlocked the cipher that is Texas Tech without JT Toppin. Nobody else could solve it, and suddenly TCU does it on the road. So yeah, it's a deserved making of the tournament. It's nice to have bubble teams that don't back into the field. And TCU's actually gone out and got it. So respect to the Frogs.
Well, Matthew, your Cincy Bearcats are trying to back into the field.
Stop.
They smoked BYU recently. There's graphics going around about about how they are a top 5 team over the past month or two. Wes Miller, of course, you have to do this as a coach, but he basically said hey, we're a lot different team with Jizzle James in the lineup since January. We kind of rock, committee, wink, wink. Matt, we've seen this before. Teams get hot late and they fall short of tournament bids because people do forget it is the entire body of work of the season that matters. And since he had a brutal start to their season, their resume is not great. They have 3 Q1 wins still. However, there are some Cincy fans that hope that the Jizzle James coming back resonates with the committee enough to where they put the Bearcats in.
I kind of agree with Wes. I don't know if it should matter, but I do think they are. I mean, they are a different team entirely offensively. They've gotten healthier too. They had a lot of their front core was pretty much was very wounded for most of the first 2 months, and that's kind of been the backbone of Miller's teams even before this year too. So it's kind of been the stars have sort of aligned in their rotation, and that's why they're playing much better.
It feels a little like those Providence teams, Kai, that always just had the late surge and picked
Yeah.
up like four Q1 wins in the back half of February and suddenly ends up in the tournament. But this one has the added twist and flavor of like the guillotine of firing was hanging over Miller. That wasn't the same for Cooley. Like this was save your job type of run. Now their resume metrics and wins above bubble are still like pretty outside the field. But if you do want to take the context of with James, they have been in tournament caliber team, then perhaps you can do it. It's gonna have to be the committee talking around it. And they do go to TCU this weekend, which would be another like needle mover that would
Yeah,
push
for
them
sure.
probably into the field. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Just crazy. UCLA, they've basically played their way in. They've won by 20 against Nebraska. And it's so funny. Cronin's been in the media for, months now about how bad his team is. He's just complaining. UCLA is 12-7 in the Big Ten. And
yeah.
they've had a really good year in that conference, and top 35 team in KenPom. It's a different perception than what you'd expect just from listening to Cronin's press conferences, Matthew.
I'm just really mad at Purdue and um, Nebraska. Like, just basically, they've opened themselves up to perfect big win, quote unquote, for these bubble teams in the Big Ten, and it bothers me. Like you see, like, they're not that athletic. They're very vulnerable. I think we all admit that going into the tournament. But they all look like really good wins right now. So congrats to UCLA and Ohio State and these Iowa.
You
Even
don't
though I
want
kind of like
you don't want
Iowa.
Ohio State in the tournament. I can tell.
No, I don't. I made a list. I told you I made a list of teams I don't want. It's just, I mean, if Auburn gets in, I'm storming the capital or
Hey.
the capital of
Again?
Indy, I should say, the capital of Indy.
Storm Tumor's corner.
HQ.
There you go. Yeah, no, Kai, I was also surprised, even like writing the bubble watch. I was like, wait, they're 12-7 in the Big Ten. Like
Yeah.
I don't think maybe one loss at home in league play, but they're 16-1 at home this season. And so, as much as Cronin complains about time zones, at least they back it up. We're like, if you come to our yard, we're gonna beat you, and they've done that. Illinois, Purdue, Nebraska, like pretty impressive stuff from the Bruins.
Yeah, and Matt's point, Ohio State's on the right side right now of it with the Purdue win. They smacked Penn State, top 30 in KenPom. Their metrics, their quality metrics is really good. Their selection metrics are now just inside that bubble territory. Of course, everyone should point out that they're 2-10 against Q1 still. That's an eyesore. But hey, UNC was 1-12 against Q1 last season. So there's precedence now thanks to the AD of North Carolina. That sat on the committee. Should
Yeah,
be allowed.
you know who else is looking at that precedent and praying is Matthews Hoosiers.
IU.
Yeah, the Hoosiers,
Yeah.
right? What are they, 2-12? What are we?
I think they're like 2-12. They're like 5-13 against the top two quadrants.
Yeah, if you're below like 20% against
you're
Q1,
out.
you don't deserve to be in on a sample size of more than 8. I just think that's a principal bracketing rule for me. If you have that many chances and you're going to bat 200, I'm sorry. I don't care if a lesser team was 0-2 against Q1. You got 12 at bats.
Yeah. SEC, Georgia's in. They beat Bama. Huge win. A&M smoked Kentucky. I don't think Mark Pope was very happy about that game. A&M.
I think they had a 44-11 run.
Yeah. Bucky's teams, and it's because of their nature, the way they press. He did it against Auburn, too. They can put on runs on you with the way their guards can play and how much pressure they can exert on you. Impressive nth gear Texas A&M can go to.
I almost made a disgusting runs joke, but I was going to say it's like
Hoop
Jim
joke,
after
Jim?
eating ice cream. Yep. And there's the runs. It's not great. It's not great. That's why I don't eat ice cream, Kai.
Not awesome.
Dangerous 10 seed, Kai? Texas A&M versus
Yeah, they might get
Illinois round 2. Are Illinois fans scared or no? They just
very
get 50
dangerous.
offensive rebounds, maybe not.
Yeah, very dangerous. Why not? Hope Mizzou's a 10, so they're a dangerous 10. If you want to talk about dangerous 10s, Matthew. Besides my wife.
I agree. I like your Tigers. That's a team I'd like to see. I think it's a good ball club. Texas, not a good ball club.
Teams falling. Here you go, Matt. Here's some teams that are trying to miss the tournament. SMU, who looked pretty much like a lock just a couple weeks ago, falling fast. Their WAB is now 46. That's poor. Still decent quad numbers, but they've lost 3 straight games. Jim pointed out in the Discord that Andy Enfield is heading exactly for the infield zone, which is delicious. Delicious.
God, if it was 8 out of 11 years where he finished 45 to 55, that's such a narrow range. Like, that is so crazy to just land right in there. He's 43rd right now in Ken Palm. I'd love to see it happen again.
Should we hire Andy? We know we're going to finish between 45 and 55 in Ken Palm. It's a solid hire.
It's a floor raiser.
I wanted SMU in the tournament. I think they're still there right now if it was today. But gosh, man, they're not making it easy on themselves.
Yep. Need to get BJ Edwards healthy. He matters a lot.
No, it's huge. Like, I think that to me is like one that committee won't even think about, but like has a very real impact. I feel like the committee, if they're gonna look at injuries, like the stars really get their attention, but I bet they're not even thinking about BJ, who I think is not saying he's as good as JT Toppin, but to that team, he's like absolutely pivotal. So yeah, that sucks.
Mountain West. Nobody wants to win the Mountain West, and nobody wants to make the tournament from the Mountain West as an at-large. All of these teams have sucked over the past month. San Diego State's lost 4 or 5. It's been ridiculous. They have played themselves out of the field, which is terrible for Kai's ridiculous long shot future. Utah State has lost 3 or 4. I don't know what's gotten into them at all. New Mexico.
They lost by 30 to UNLV. What are you doing?
The Rebs.
New Mexico's lost 2 of 3. They beat San Diego State in that time span. But holy cow, man! And I don't even think Mountain West deserves more than one team right now. And Jim, you have a question about the A10 versus the Mountain West in terms of number of bids. VCU is getting closer to the field. They might even be there. SLU's definitely in. Mountain West has no team that is definitely. Maybe Utah State is definitely in right now. Yeah, they are. But besides that, New Mexico and San Diego State are just you make the field. You make the field.
Yeah, I think it's like the Mountain West is more likely to get 1 than the A10, and the A10 is more likely to get 3 at this point because I don't know who the second team is going to be from the Mountain West. The hottest team is Colorado State. They've won 8 in a row, beat San Diego State, beat New Mexico in that stretch. I don't know where that came from. They were 3 and 8 in the league. Now they've won 8 in a row. Kind of a crazy run for Farouk Manesh. But the only disappointing part to this, Matt, is that less Mountain West teams in the tournament means less Mountain West teams to bet against in the tournament because I want them to crap themselves in mid-March, not in early March. Why do you hate that? It's not a narrative. It's true.
No, I hate that it's a real thing.
Okay.
Like San Diego State last year losing by 50 to the 1-20 Q1 UNC Tar Heels at Dayton. Yeah, I think it's just one of those conferences where a lot of these leagues kind of in that middle of the totem pole have, I would say, undervalued, mushy teams like Colorado State, like UNLV, that take some risk with their rosters and then they get better late when they get healthy. And so it really is it works against the metric manipulation of the top teams. So it kind of creates more parity. I think the A10 you see some of that as well. I think Utah State's the only team that's yep, that's a team I'd like to see in the field. They're good enough. All these other teams, New Mexico, really well coached, but I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like this is a super fun Olin team. It's a good team. It's well coached, but it's not I'm not excited to see the Lobos in the field, frankly.
Easy coach of the year in Mountain West.
Over Calhoun?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Expectations?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to bring a stats trivia question to you guys because I'm guessing you don't listen, and that's okay with me. Since January 1st, can you rank the top, or tell me the top 3 teams ranked in the A10?
Since January 1st.
Since January 1st.
SLU.
SLU is 1.
VCU.
VCU is 2.
The third team is
64th in the country, 17 spots ahead of number 4.
Oh, you mean since January 1st?
Yep.
Well, is it Dayton?
It's not Dayton. This is exactly what I did, so don't worry. Don't feel bad. It's not Davidson.
George.
Neither. It's neither George. It is St. Joe's, Kai.
Oh.
A top 75 team.
Yeah, Donahue. Good coach.
Steve Donahue. Yeah, that's Will's this is my bid stealer. The St. Joe's Hawks in Pittsburgh at the A10 tournament.
How ironic. If Billy Lang, first year Billy Lang's out, Joe's makes the tournament. Oh my gosh.
Would be
I would
very funny.
really, really enjoy that. I would really enjoy that.
I wish Matt hadn't walked away for that trivia question because I think I would have stumped him.
Yeah. Okay, Miami of Ohio, real quick. Let's talk. They're 30-0. They had a buzzer beater win against Western Michigan. They barely survived Toledo, but they're 30-0. There's a lot of discourse going around. Some out there who are very, very not familiar with college basketball are wondering why Miami's not like a 1 seed right now in bracket conversations. Some out there are saying Miami played nobody and they don't even deserve to be an at-large if they lose. Jim, the fact of the matter is their WAB is number 30 in the country. That is exactly what this metric is supposed to do. Despite the bad schedule, number 30. Number 21 in strength of record, if that's your thing. KPI we don't really pay attention to. It is true. They are 1-0 against Q1 and Q2 games. The schedule was horrible. But they're 30-0. This is unprecedented territory for a team of this, they're projected an 11 seed. They get an at-large. I would argue the system is working in that sense. But a team that deserves an at-large, man. I think you need if they lose back-to-back, end of the regular season, first-round conference tournament, I think now you're thinking about it. Aside from that, I don't think you can leave a team out with 30 wins.
Yeah, I don't either. The 30 wins and their WAB right now, it's like plus 2.5. Like they're 2.5 wins over what a bubble team should be. If they lose 2 more games, it's probably like negative 0.85 and negative 0.85 again. Like they probably go back down to plus zero point 0.8. And I know that's nerdy talk, but basically it is to say they'd still be above water, like well above water in WAB if they did not win their final 2 games. If anybody says they should be a 1 seed, just give them a little soft slap on the cheek, just a little scold, tell them they're silly and don't really know what they're looking at. Yeah, they completely deserve to be selected. I don't know what else they can do. The amount of people, Kai, that are like, well, why don't people just play a bunch of Q4 games and win them all? Why hasn't it happened more
Go
then?
ahead.
Yeah, everybody is welcome to try that. Everybody is welcome to try that. And it's taken a lot of close games. I believe at least 7 of Miami's MAC games have either gone to overtime or been decided by 1 basket. And Miami's happened to win all of them, but you don't want to leave it that much up to chance. And your margin for error is razor thin if you make that schedule. And the Redhawks, unlike any team really in history at this caliber, has managed to toe that line and stay on the right side of it.
Yeah, and there's stories now about how Steele tried to schedule games. It's hard to schedule games when you're a team that bring most people back from last year and project to be a top 100 KenPom team or at least close to it. I think Sweeney stole my bit on Twitter that I actually said in the Discord, but they actually scheduled not bad during the preseason. They scheduled UNC Greensboro. They scheduled at Eastern Kentucky. They scheduled at Asheville. They scheduled at Wright State. These are all teams that were expected to be pretty good in the non-con, at least from a mid-major level. Just most of them happen to have bad years. They're at Air Force. Again, not a good team right now, but preseason didn't look like such a bad game for Miami.
Yeah, went to Elevation and played a Mountain West team. Like they're kind of trying. And yeah, if you don't get to schedule the teams, you still got to win them, and they've managed to do that. So I have a hard time jumping down their throats too much on the schedule.
I like
I
the point
agree with
in
people
the
that say like don't play the victim, but yeah,
someone in the Discord made a pretty good point. Like it's ironic that people are mad they didn't schedule well. And I think your point's the right point. Like I think Steele tried to schedule a little better. Like he got some bad luck in how these teams turned out. But you could argue the fact that he actually did schedule for the low end of the like really bad teams as opposed to like really good mid majors actually helps them. Like that was actually smart scheduling. That's sort of what that everyone at the Power Conference does, right? Schedule bad teams and ensure you get wins and wins by margin. In this case, they just need to get wins, not necessarily wins by margin. And that's sort of why they're at where they're at. So, yeah, my thoughts on Miami are well documented. They deserve to be in. People don't understand the value of consistency. They just see the value in like big. Who did you beat? Who did you beat, Kai? Well, we beat 30 teams.
They beat
they didn't lose once. I don't care who you play. You went 30 in a row.
Knock on wood. They still have Ohio today.
Arch rivalry game there. The Battle of the Bricks.
Not an easy game. Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk conference tournaments soon, but Lehigh won on a buzzer beater, if you didn't catch the Patriot craziness. A half quarter, in fact. Tie game, 2-seed Lehigh. This game ended during the Valpo game, which I was watching, which also was a pretty crazy ending. Valpo snuck by Indiana State. So I missed it, so I saw the replay. Needed a half quarter to beat Holy Cross. Conference tournaments are the best. I mean, they are the freaking best. Every game is awesome.
Yeah, total chaos. I loved, I mean, it wasn't like the running desperate heave. Like he pulled up from half
Yep.
court, like basically came to a jump stop, took a jumper, and absolutely sank it. It was awesome. Pandemonium in the Mountain Hawks. It always I like when I get a chance to repost the sign from when they beat Duke that said "We are ridiculously high. We are ridiculously high." Like it's just the best. So shout out to that one as well.
Good reminder. Lehigh beat Duke, and no one else lost to a 15 seed that year. Just Duke.
Exactly. Correct.
All right, big scoring stat lines. Jordan Battle for Old Dominion went out with a bang. 45 points in a loss to Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt tournament. Samford, Jaden Booth might be the best shooter in the country. He had 40 and 11 three-pointers recently against UNC Greensboro. They showed his practice like shot chart. You know they have shot charts now for practice. He shot like 83% from three for like hundreds of shots. The guy is like absolutely insane shooter. Impressive. And then
Yep.
Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, 42, formerly a decent recruit, 42 points for UNLV in a win over Nevada. Claps for him.
Big time scorer. He's I believe rumored for potential portal
I wouldn't.
somewhere else
This
next
is
year.
like
We'll
his
see.
what, third team?
Yes. Well, I
Uh,
think he was just Illinois and
Illinois.
UNLV before
This
this.
Illinois.
Yep.
Excuse me. Triple doubles. Zuby, Edgefor, 16, 12, and 10, and a win over Villanova. We're going back to UNLV. UNLV kind of surging a little bit. Just, I mean, more than some Mountain West teams. Howie Fleming, 12, 10, 12, in a huge beatdown of Utah State that Jim mentioned. His second triple double in 2 weeks, Jim. That's impressive.
Yeah, the other one was against Air Force, so it probably
Okay.
counts for half. But this one counts double because it was against the Mountain West leader. So he's doing it on both ends of the standings.
And then Matt's dude, Cam.
UNLV, Kai, fun fact.
Yes,
They
please.
are, I believe it still holds. They're top just betting money lines. When they are a favorite, they're like they are bottom five ROI in the country. When they are an underdog, they are now number one. Or like they have like this weird inverted volatility thing where it makes total sense. Like the roster makes no sense game to game. They had so many injuries and Pastner's like plays a bunch of different. They have two guys who get white hot with Gibbs Lawhorn and Tyron Jones has been awesome too. That's like going to be a fun freshman darling that gets NBA looks and potential portal poachers.
Goes to
I think
goes
they get
to
hot
Texas
though.
Tech, right? Freshman of
Yeah,
the
that's
year in
right.
Mountain West. That's like
Yep.
their brand.
Monty Hamilton's
Uh,
awesome, too.
yes,
Out
he is.
there. Matt's dude, Cam Gillis, 12, 11, 11 for Howard in a win over Coppin State.
Cam Gillis transferred from
Wow. You stumped me.
Lehigh. I just wanted to bring it up.
Oh,
It
naturally.
was topical, Kai. It was
It
topical.
is topical. Let's finish off. We saw that with some bad losses. Cal, Matt, the Bears, they lost by 16 to Pitt at home. You can't do that on the bubble. You just can't do that.
No, you can't. Yeah, an ACC. Like, it's Cal has such a unappetizing resume.
It's yeah, right now they're a top 50 WAB. It's not impossible for them to make the tournament. 4 Q1 wins. Pretty solid. But yeah, everything else is just kind of like, not really.
Yeah, one of the big edges was having a clean resume before this, and then you get smacked by Pitt at home,
First
and it's
first
just
non Q1 Q2 loss, I think, for them. Yeah.
yeah,
Not
and
a
it's
good
just
situation.
eyesore kind of stuff. Bad for the eye test, Kai. It's not good.
Bad for the eye test, or really an eyesore as well, as Auburn. They lost again to Ole Miss on last Saturday. Then they beat LSU after that. But they have 14 losses. They're at Alabama on this Saturday. A loss there would be 15 losses. As Rocco Miller points out on Twitter, no team has ever made the field as an at-large with 16 losses, which would be where Auburn would be at if they lose in the SEC tournament. They'd also be 16 and 16, so they'd be clearly out. Jim, what's the magic rule? Is it 2 games? It's 3 games above 500, I believe, is like the magic rule for at-large minimums.
Yeah, I think one team's gotten it like 16 and 14 before, but all the 15 lost teams were like 19 and 15.
Yeah.
Like they were well above 500 there. And this loss is worth mentioning too, because the big Auburn thing was like we played such a tough schedule, we're just losing to hard teams. Well, you lost at Mississippi State, who's a clear non-tournament team, and then you lost at home to Mississippi to add a Q3 loss to a non-tournament team. And you can't hide behind the we lose to good teams thing if you're also, as part of your losing 7 of 8, losing to a non-tournament team at home. This was the one for me where, unless they win at Bama, get out of my tournament.
And then NC State, they've lost 5 of 6. They're in the tournament right now. They're 11-10 somehow across Q1, Q2. I keep looking at like where are their Q1 wins. I don't. It's like at Wake, at SMU. The teams they've beaten are not great outside of UNC, and at Clemson was a huge win, but they don't have a lot of wins. They're a 9 seed projected per Bart. I think it's right around where they are in bracket matrix, 9 or 10. I mean, my gosh, you gonna start winning some games here, Willie Wade, or what? Down the
Yeah,
stretch.
it's been really, really ugly. In the losing 5 of 6 stretch, it is lose by 41 to Louisville, choke a final minute away against Miami, then beat shorthanded at UNC, then lose by 29 to Virginia, lose at bad shorthanded Notre Dame in overtime, and then lose by 29 to Duke. It's just like you are failing eye test, metrics, good wins, like competitive against good teams. Like they're just not doing anything right now. If they don't beat Stanford at home on Saturday, they might have the most like shocking fall out of the tournament of anybody.
Yeah, that'd be bad for.
Imagine picking them to the Final Four in the preseason, Kai. That sure wasn't me. Oops. Should have
I
gone with Virginia. I was between those two.
Yeah, I do have a long shot future on NC State, so I'd love for them to just make a little bit of a run. Okay, that does it for we've saw that conference tournament preview time. Not gonna belabor every single conference, but I think we should give just a quick overview. And I want everyone to pick a winner, and then maybe like a surprise dark horse. Look out for this team. Matthew is being dad, so once he comes back into play here, he can give his thoughts. Before we start this section, of course, Home Field Apparel. We're going to shout them out. Our lovely sponsor, homefieldapparel.com. That is where you can buy the comfiest college basketball and football, whatever else college sports you like, gear in the world, shirts, hoodies. They come out with really cool jackets all the time that are, I think they just released like a hoops collection that is really sick. Some mesh shorts are out there now, Jim. Mizzou's got one of those packages, the heavyweight hoodie and the mesh shorts. I forgot what it's called. Hoop Society, what it's called.
Yep. Yep.
They make the best gear. If you have a school, it's likely on Home Field Apparel. If you don't have a school, get a school. Get some cool gear for the tournament. There's gonna be a lot of fun mid majors in the field of 68, and Home Field Apparel probably makes some sick apparel for that school. Go to homefieldapparel.com today. Shop your school. Use our promo code 3MW at checkout to get 15% off your first purchase. That is Home Field. Wear one for the team. All right, conference tournament discussions here. We're going to start with the best conference tournament there is, Jim. That's Arch Madness in St. Louis. It's a terrific tournament. By the way, they're 0-3 to the under, of course. The under are hitting once again in this tournament. The opening round is done. We are finished. We are now into the quarterfinals of this tournament. Drake had the only quote unquote upset over SIU, but the Valpo Indiana State game was awesome. Jim, who is your title pick? Belmont is the favorite, but you have, gosh, I would say 6 teams, 6 really, really good teams that could be a worthy representative of this conference in the field of 68.
I'm going to pick history, Kai. For the first time ever, a team that played on Thursday is going to win the MVC. That is Northern Iowa.
Wow.
They're the second favorite in betting odds, so like kind of crazy there. But yeah, most of the reason that no one has ever won Thursday to Sunday is because the teams that play on Thursday are really bad. But Northern Iowa is arguably the second best team in this league, especially when they have Tristan Smith healthy. They're second best at KenPom, even though he missed time this year. I think they find their way. Illinois State, certainly an imposing competitor today in the quarterfinals as we're recording, but I'll go with the Purple Panthers.
Yeah, this could be a really bad prediction because I'm going Murray State. So both our teams who lose today. Murray State, arguably the most talented team in this conference. Their defense has been a huge issue all season, but they might have the best top gear in the league with Javon Jackson and Roman Doman, folks, the freshman. He rocks. Check him out. Also, Fred King, pretty darn good player up front. I'm going the Murray State Racers. None of us picked Belmont. I don't know if Matt's going to pick Belmont or not, but they did win this league by a couple games, I think. Dominated.
Yeah, and all their losses were like OT by 1 point, 1 point, OT by 1 point, and then the finale at Illinois State.
The WCC gym is in the Orleans Arena in Paradise, Nevada. Not quite Vegas, but basically right there. It's a ladder, so San Diego State or San Diego needs just 5 more wins in 5 days to win it. Congrats, San Diego. The Toreros beat LMU. Horrible, petered out for the Lions there. Portland beat Pepperdine. Gonzaga and St. Mary's are in the semis. Is it anybody but them?
It is not. I think, unfortunately for Santa Clara, it's just not a great matchup for them. Trying to play through the paint against St. Mary's, and St. Mary's is dominant there. I'm going to take Gonzaga, Kai. I'm just disappointed we did not get a Pepperdine up 56 to 9 on Pacific type of game to
Yeah,
start the tournament.
I
That
remember
was
that.
an absolute mauling. RIP the I don't think they'll go with the ladder next year when Gonzaga's gone.
Probably not. No. I will take Gonzaga as well. Matthew, you now have 2 leagues to pick when you get back. The OVC, it's the first bid awarded every single season on Saturday night. This is in Evansville. It's a tiny ladder. Tiny ladder. The top 4 seeds all made the semis. SEMO just survived Lindenwood. Just got by. Actually, UT Martin just survived Eastern Illinois. Very close games in the quarterfinals. Um, Top 4 seeds left. I'm going with the Redhawks, Matthew. SEMO as my pick for the OVC. I don't feel good about it, though. You can pick any team. I believe you.
I lean SEMO. I think the most talented team is Tennessee State. Are your boy Nolan Smith?
Analytics. Yeah.
But I think SEMO. Brad Korn. Remember he did this as an 8 seed. What was it 2 years ago? 5-5,
Was he an 8 seed?
or he won
He
5
was
and
low.
5, right? 4-4.
4-4. Yeah, one of the two.
I think
Right.
it's 4-4.
It was crazy.
4-4.
Yes.
Okay. No, I'm a big Korn fan. Shut up, George.
Jim?
Yeah, SEMO for me. It's who I picked. It's who I bet a future on. It's who I picked in the pool. Needed a really tough fadeaway jumper from Braxton Stacker to get that win, Kai, to escape last night. Drama in this tournament, but I don't really trust any of the 4, and will not be paying much attention to any of the 4 come March Madness, unfortunately.
16 seed. Yeah. Sun Belt, I was going to have Matt weigh in, but he's up again. The Sun Belt, Pensacola, the biggest ladder ever, the Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to 7.
Stairway to 7. Georgia Southern already making waves. They took out the number 1 KenPom team. That was Arkansas State, who somehow got a 7 seed. But they're out. We're now in the 4th round. So we got Texas State and Southern Miss. We got South Alabama and Georgia Southern. And then there's still 4 teams after that. Troy and Marshall are sitting in the semis. I went with App State in this one, Jim. I don't think the 1 or 2 seed has won this tournament in a while. I don't think it's not a thing that will always happen. But as Matt's pointed out on a couple shows, Richie Riley said it's a disadvantage to have a bid or a buyout at the semis. It's a lot of time off, we'll say. So App State is my pick for this league.
Yeah, that's my pick too. I bet on Coastal Carolina because I
As did
like
I.
the longer odds with their guards. They've got 3 guys that can get really hot. But yes, I'm going to pick App State. I love Dustin Kearns, the defense. They're so comfortable playing in a slow down postseason type environment. He's won a bunch of games in a row before at this school. And surprised to see Arkansas State eliminated already, going down Thursday. I mean, they had a fan, I think, on Twitter who applied to me as like, we choked away enough games in this league. We deserve to have to win 5-5, and they couldn't even win 1-1. So, I'll ride with App State as well. Matthew, who you got in the Sun Belt?
Yeah, weird year for Arkansas State. I think by all measures of success, and we all think Pennell is a great coach, that they had some poor coaching moments throughout the year for sure. Just it was kind of a weird team how it was constructed. I am rooting for South Alabama, obviously. I think Troy will prevail.
Troy will prepare. Matthew, quick. Arch Madness and WCC. What are your picks?
I'm gonna go Belmont.
Okay.
I don't love Bradley, who's been awesome. Like I think Wardle's record there is pretty crazy. I just don't think this rendition's typical Bradley team. What was the other one again you guys talked about?
WCC.
WCC. I think it's Gonzaga.
That's a consensus, Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I think it's Gonzaga. I hope it's Santa Clara. It's not.
I think Jordan Majeski said in the Discord that Jaquan Johnson was like looking gimpy while watching Valpo, Indiana State. So that would certainly hurt Bradley's chances there.
Best player in the league. I think did not win player of the year. Tyler Lundblade.
Which was silly. Jaquan Johnson was the player of the year in that league. Get out of here.
The Horizon. Campus sites are over. It's time for Indianapolis, where we have a strange one-game second round here. The lowest seeded winners from the first round, were reseeded and put in this one game. It's Green Bay, Northern Kentucky. And then Wright State, Robert Morris, Detroit all get buys to the semis. The winner of this weird game plays Wright State. Jim, I'm on the record of saying I picked Green Bay because I will not have Doug Gottlieb make a tournament without me benefiting as well. I don't want that comeuppance, so I'm sticking with Green Bay officially.
Yeah, I have the financial interest in him winning, so it will not hurt me too badly if it happens. But I'll go with Wright State. They've been consistent all year.
Smoking
I'll ride with the favorite. Yep.
Matthew. Mute.
That's classic, Matt.
I like Wright State as well, as I was saying eloquently. I do think this Detroit run is a cool narrative. Said this the other day.
Milwaukee just sucks, huh? I mean, my gosh.
Yeah. They just were never that good. They're just too hurt this year. Aguilar's a losing player.
I don't think Aguilar is a fun guy.
He just
to play
wasn't
with.
good. He just wasn't any good, and their other second best player is hurt. But I love. I think if you're a coach like Mark Montgomery, a strategy I would be looking to differentiate myself is be like the homecoming destination. Like they have a ton of Detroit dudes. They can help them do pretty well in the portal, help them recruit. And they had an awesome turn. I think it also helps put people in the stands. Everyone loves to go watch dudes who are from your area play. So shouts to Montgomery. I'm not saying he's a genius, but I like his strategy and how he rebuilt that thing this year.
Yeah, I agree. In the Summit, we are in the Pentagon in Sioux Falls. I would love to go to that place. I still not been. The top two seeds have already advanced, North Dakota State and St. Thomas. They're both in the semis. Got the other two opening games, or quarterfinal games, rather, today. Jim, who's your pick in the Summit?
Tommies for me. They're
Tom's
basically like a Wisconsin West team. You've got Hero. He's from Wisconsin. Minnesali's from Milwaukee area. Janowski also from Milwaukee area. So I'm going to ride with those home state boys, and I just believe they're the best team all year, despite losing close games. While North Dakota State has won close games, I think that flips. Give me the Tommies.
Would love to see Johnny Tower make the tournament. I went with NDSU, but I would not be mad to see St. Thomas, and they are eligible. Yeah, they're eligible this year. Thank goodness. Yeah, go Tommies. Matthew will get his thoughts right now. Summit, who you got?
Tommy's. It's just their year.
Love it. Fantastic.
It's their year.
The MAC, the last year it will be named as such, Metro Atlantic. It is in Atlantic City. The play-ins are done. Iona ends its forgettable season. I chose the number one in the preseason just because I wanted to have fun. Sacred Heart, good team. Thought they'd be a lot better. They showed their potential in the first game. We're in the quarters right now. Boy, you choose any team, I believe that they have a case to win. I think Sacred Heart can win this tournament, Matthew. I'm going to go with Siena as my pick and back Jerry McNamara.
I'm going to go with the Mount. Donnie Lynn, little repeat of last year. They played a lot better down the stretch. They're a little bit healthier. I almost said Sacred Heart. Both teams who I like their coach, got a key guy or two back late in the year. They're playing better late. I did a Sacred Heart Mount. I took them both to win so I'm hoping that portfolio comes out plus EV. So
okay.
I'll say Mary's
I wanted to pick Marist, but they're just too hurt to end the year.
Yeah.
They lost Schofield, they lost Lewis. It's ugly for them. I'm going to go with Merrimack. I'll be the one that picks the one seed here. Stud freshman in Kennedy. Now they're pretty reliant on getting to the free throw line. We'll see how this tournament is officiated. But Joe Gallo's won a conference tournament before. Yeah. This time he's actually going to get to go to the big dance.
Would be fun to see
St.
Thomas and Merrimack in the tournament.
I agree.
The A-Sun, it's in Jacksonville. North Florida and Jacksonville are hosting because they both exist in this tournament. This is one of the craziest tournaments every single year. Like every game is nuts, and we got a really good one between Bellarmine and Jacksonville in the first game. The West Georgia North Florida wasn't too bad, so we haven't seen the total craziness yet. Stetson is the only upset. They beat Eastern Kentucky. EKU, good riddance. What a horrible season. Central Arkansas won this league, which is shocking. We mentioned the Schulmans earlier, but he had a fantastic coaching job. Austin Peay might be the best team. And Jim, that's who I'm going with to win this tournament is Austin P. Corey Gibson, his fatigues.
There you go. Service Kai. Salute to serve. I'm going to go with Lipscomb.
Yeah.
I feel a little. I thought about Queens, but their defense just isn't good enough. Lipscomb's got a little more balance and is chomping at the right at the heels of Austin P and Central Arkansas analytically. So give me the one seed there. And I'm not super scared, or the four seed, excuse me. I'm not scared of the one seed Central Arkansas in the semis. So let's go Lipscomb.
Yeah, me neither. NEC, all on campus sites. LIU survived Chicago State as the heavy favorite in this tournament. Chicago State almost knocked them off. That would have been nuts. Wagner knocked off the 2 seed Central Connecticut. We're now in the finals. LIU plays Wagner. Mercyhurst plays Stonehill. Mercyhurst and Stonehill both cannot make the tournament. I think Stonehill can't still make it. So it's basically LIU or whoever wins LIU Wagner makes the tournament, which is a little bit unfortunate, Matt, a little bit anticlimactic, but at least we'll still get a conference champion, I guess.
Yeah, there's a chance in which there's like a game after the title game. If there's
it won't anymore because of the way the bracket fell, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. I'm taking LIU, by the way. Fins up.
I took Central Connecticut, so that was a bust. But yeah, LIU, just they're the most talented team, and I have to agree with you on that one.
I'm going to pick Mercyhurst because I think you get a little bit, maybe a complacent LIU if they make the final. But I also have the Wagner wager going. I think some people got like 100 to 1, 80 to 1 on Wagner. I did not get that price, but they were playing really well late, so I bet on them, and they're down to 7 to 1 to win the league, or some south of 6 to 1 in some places. But I will pick Mercyhurst on the pod here.
Fantastic. Big South in Johnson City, Tennessee, where one win Gardner-Webb already matched their conference season win total by beating USC Upstate in the first round. I don't know how that happened. They're one of the worst 5 teams in the country. That's March, baby. They're going to get blown out by High Point, who they play next. We're in the quarters now with every other team playing. Jim, I think it's High Point's league. I think they're like minus 300 to win this league in betting markets, at least minus 200, something like that. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I just got to throw a little more shade at Upstate for losing the season series to Gardner-Webb. They lost 2 out of 3 to a team that had
lost?
2 D1 wins. Yes, that is despicable. I'm sorry, Marty Richter, but you cannot do that. That team is awful. Yeah, it's High Point, especially with Duncombe probably out for Winthrop. I think it's pretty much assumed at this point that he won't play. Nobody else really has the talent coach combination to take down loaded High Point roster. So yeah, High Point.
Yeah, I took a flyer on Charleston Southern just for betting purposes, but it's not going to happen. Matthew, Big South?
High Point, Flynn, Clayman, season. First one to be on to him. So
he got an extension, by the way.
Yep.
As he should.
Fantastic. I think he should stay. I do think he should stay. He's going to be paid very well.
It's a juggernaut of a team in this league. Yeah.
Competitive advantage to your conference. Like they could be in the tournament for the next 10 years in a row.
It'll be the second straight year top 100 team. Patriot, all at campus sites here. Navy survived Bucknell. Navy again, heavy favorite. Bucknell almost beat them. We mentioned earlier, Lehigh, the 2 seed, just survived Holy Cross because of a half quarter. So we almost had some high drama, but at the end, it's the top 4 seeds are in the semis right now. It's Navy for me. Navy, Sam. I really hope Navy makes it too. They're a fun team. Brought, I think, the most minutes back in the country this season. I hope they get it done.
Yeah, I watched most of that game, or most of the final 10 minutes, I guess. Navy definitely turned it on. They're the best team in the league. They can go small. They can play giant through their big boy, Kehoe, in the middle. It's Navy. I think there were some nerves yesterday, and maybe there still will be as the tournament goes on, but I will go Navy, Matthew.
I guess it's Navy. Feels like that's the right answer. Probably, we're just much chaos we see here, but I think Navy's the right pick. So Perry's like a stud. Is he going to stay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was there forever with the Charles.
Right? Okay,
I doubt he's going to leave after 1 year, but they will be rebuilding next year without
those
Kehoe, Draper, and Bonini, their top 3.
Need some more recruits. Join the Navy. I forgot the Simpsons line. Sorry, guys.
Roll goats.
Join the Navy.
Oh, Jalen Cox played for Colgate. I think that was huge. He had a big game. They need him. He missed the finale.
Quickly touch on 5 tournaments that have not tipped yet. The Coastal, the CAA, it's in DC. Wilmington is the 1 seed, heavy favorite, but Charleston and Hofstra also, I guess they're not heavy favorite. They're right there. Charleston and Hofstra with them. Monmouth got the 4. You have an opening round. Those 4 teams are in the quarters already. Matthew, your choice in the Coastal.
God, I feel like I want to say Charleston, but I don't know. I feel like them and Towson would be my 2 leans, but I also discount Wilmington every year, and this year it feels like they're really starting to play well down the stretch.
I'm going to say it's not Wilmington, despite them. I appreciate them winning the regular season as a regular season wager on them. I'll pick Hofstra. Their defense down the stretch was ridiculous, holding teams like 35% from 2 just over the final month of the season. I'm also intrigued by Monmouth, though. Since Kavion McLean got eligible the last
Yeah,
8 games of the year, they were really, really good. Their only losses were at Wilmington and at Charleston and played fairly tough in both. I think that team can. I bet they make the final, is what I'll say, and they beat Wilmington in the semis.
I'll take Charleston, guys. I'll be the one. I'll be the one. All right. SoCon action in Asheville. This league sucked this season. Really bad. East Tennessee State is the 1 seed. They could lose to anybody. Literally. They could lose to Chattanooga or Citadel, whoever wins that game. The opening round is Chattanooga, Citadel, Greensboro, VMI. 2 seeds Wofford somehow. Again, not sure how they got the 2 seed. Whatever. My pick, Matt, it's going to be Mercer from the 4 position.
I agree.
Love Ryan Ritter. Fun-ish team, because none of these teams are fun.
No, I agree. I think they have the best player in the league, and Baraka coach. Remember how much we loved him, like coming out of Mason at Memphis, like
Yeah,
just an
Memphis
all.
just
But the
broke
problem
him.
is that they're not. Brady's shoulders, I think, is his status is they're just not very deep. They have like 6.5 good players, but they're all really good. And without him, it's basically not like a 5-man rotation. So I worry about their depth holding up.
That's a good
But
point.
I want to play. I want to take Mercer here.
Yeah, they've got Western, right?
Yep.
The first round. And what I'm not sure what to do with Western if Silmaro's out. He was awesome the last 2 games before he got hurt. He missed the final 4 of the season. That's a problem. He missed like the end of the year last year when he was on Gardner Webb or East Carolina. I think he might have missed time late with Gardner Webb too. Like really rough postseasons for him. The winner of Samford Furman is my pick. I'm having a hard time gauging it. I'll go with Samford. I like Lenny Acuff's team in the preseason. They're playing pretty well late. They've got Booth, the shooter that we mentioned, and we saw that. So I'll go Samford, Kai.
A good pick, Jim. And maybe the right one if Shoulders is out for Mercer. Also, I was going to add one more. West Carolina, hottest team in the league. 6 straight wins.
Timmy Kraft. How about that?
Yeah, he left Gardner Webb. Good choice. Who was horrible once again. Big Sky, it's in Boise. Portland State won this league by a hair. Montana State's the best team analytically, I think, still. And then you got everybody else. The Idahos are both in the first round. They're not playing each other, but they're in the first round. And then 6 teams are in the quarters already. Matthew, who do you got in Boise? Big Sky.
Portland State gets out of their little funk.
Coburn.
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy Coburn. I think they get it done. I think Northern Colorado was like who did I think was going to be good and then wasn't as good as I thought. Like that sort of they fit more of that mold. But I do like this Portland State team quite a bit. I just again and I think it's the team that has the best chance to like not get run over in the tournament. So I guess I'm sort of rooting for that.
Yeah, I think them because their defense, they probably have that, like you said, Matt, the best chance
Most
there.
athletic team, just physically,
Yeah.
like get off the bus.
Montana State's too hurt. They lost McMahon to end towards the end of the year. That just is enough to keep me off them. I will go with Northern Colorado, as Matthew mentioned. They were hot down the stretch. They won 9 of their final 10. They had lost 5 in a row early in the league. They were 1-7 at one point. They had lost by 5, 3, 4 in overtime, 5, 4, and then kind of figured it out. Quinn Denker was fully healthy after that, and he's arguably the best player in the league. I guess Money Williams is probably a better player for Montana, but Northern Colorado for me, Kai.
I'm taking UNC as well. The real UNC. Bears.
Oh.
Yeah, both UNC and Eastern Washington, 9 of 10 coming in. Like
Yeah, you watched
hard to
the
find a
hot
counter to. Yeah, white hot.
2 more. America East. All campus sites. Top 8 only. Sorry, Binghamton. You did not qualify for this tournament. Horrible season. Goodness gracious.
Somewhere, Tony Kornheiser weeps. Their
Yes,
most famous
Johannes
alum.
Nixon. So it's 8 teams. We're in the quarters already. These teams are reseeded for the semis after the first round here. UMBC won the league, kind of out of nowhere. They got some really talented pieces in the recruiting path, I think transfers and freshmen. Vermont, disappointing season. Many thought they would run roughshod over this league. They did not. NJIT, the surprise 3 seed. Jim, what are your thoughts on the America East? Who wins?
God, do I be stubborn and go with Vermont and the Gus Bus? And they were good down the stretch, except for losing at UMBC. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Catamounts. This is that great Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central tip, like earlier than most games ever start. I love that it's kind of a standalone game there. I'll go Vermont, Matthew, beating UMBC. Muted Matthew.
I agree. I go Vermont as well, even though UMBC is like technically better this year. Shouts to Jim Ferry, by the way. Nice little coaching job this season.
Yeah, great job. They've won 9 in a row.
Quietly.
They've been really good. I'll go Vermont as well, though. I love the Gus Bus. That guy's electric.
All right, gents, I gotta drop off my my daughter at daycare.
Right, we'll do Southland. One word, Matthew. Southland. McNeese or SFA?
SFA.
Okay.
All right, SFA and McNeese are both in the semis.
Jax.
Top 8 only make this tournament, so
It's at McNeese though, right?
it's at Lake Charles, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, how do they get that? Why did they let that do that?
I don't know. That's a strange thing they do.
Like UNLV's like no one takes him seriously. So yeah, you can host it. We're not really worried about that. Like it's not really a home court advantage. But I mean, at McNeese is kind of that's tough.
Yeah,
They deserve it this year, but still.
only top 8 make it. So 4 teams got cut from this tournament. Incarnate Word and Lamar were both supposed to be among the top half of this league. They both missed it. Even Southeastern Louisiana, a bit disappointing as well. Jim, I'm going McNeese. Home court.
I probably should. SFA's got some 3-point luck built into their defensive numbers, but I love Colonel, the master of the rim, does not let teams score inside, and I think Brower's brilliant. So it's tough for me to say SFA is gonna. I guess they lost to McNeese the first game, but I'll go SFA. Kai, break the rubber there, or the rubber match.
Alrighty. We want to do some previews?
Let's just pick the games really quick.
Okay. Friday, St. John's, Jim. Will they beat Seton Hall and clinch the 1 seed?
I think yes. I think there's the incentive to avoid Seton Hall in the semis. The Big East folks in the Discord have talked about that.
I'm going Seton Hall wins. Haha.
Although I guess the 1 seed will have to play them because they're the 4 seed. So I don't know, it's a tricky. Hey, I hope Seton Hall wins. Kai as a UConn Big East title backer.
On Saturday, the ACL Bowl, Texas Tech and BYU at BYU. I don't like the way the Cougs look right now. I'm taking Texas Tech.
They're the 10 seed in the Big 12 tournament right now.
Crazy.
It's a nightmare. Yeah, Texas Tech for me. BYU is just, I think, a 2-man team that's circling the drain.
Louisville at Miami. Louisville -1 per KenPom. I'm thinking the Canes. Louisville doesn't feel right either right now.
Yeah, they're 0-8 in Q1A games. I think this is a Q1A game based on where Miami is in the net. 0-9 for the Cards. Kai, give me Miami.
Vanderbilt at Tennessee. Tennessee 4-point favorite per KenPom. Well, that's a tough one. I think Vanderbilt is a really, really, really strong dog. I'm going to take them against Tennessee in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vandy too without knowing. I'm expecting Ament is either out or gimpy with that high ankle sprain. So Vandy as well.
Finally, Florida already clinched the SEC. They're at Kentucky. 7-point favorites per KenPom. They keep rolling, or does the Wildcats do something weird after a Texas A&M loss?
I think Kentucky is the weirdest team in the conference, and they actually competed in Gainesville. I think they lost by 9, or one of the few teams that's held up against that Florida onslaught. I don't know if Florida's feeling a little fat and happy after clinching and cutting down the nets and getting their regular season title. I'll say it's close, but Florida wins by like 3.
Alrighty, we will have more breakdowns of games for the weekend tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central. Best Bet Show. Join us then. Talk more in depth about those games. Let's do reviews and then send the folks on their way here. We got 4. Old Crusty Exterminator says, "Tummy time," as his review. Good College Hoops Pod question for you. Is Kelvin Sampson too fat to win the national title? Totally understand he nearly won it all in 2025 with the same physique, but confetti don't lie. He's always had little arms protruding from his polo-shirted body, but in recent years, his belly fat causes his belt buckle to stare down at the court all game. Are we better off picking a fitter coach like May, Shire, Lloyd, Golden, or Hurley to win it all in 2026? Also, given that over the past 50 years, belts are for fashion, not to keep your pants up, should Sampson pivot and coach in athletic attire like Bill Self? Jim,
What a
thoughts?
review. Old crusty exterminator. I'm just clapping over here. Well done. Um, he's got like old man body. I feel bad. He's not like so out of shape. I think he's just kind of, the body kind of melts into itself as you age.
Yeah.
I think Trilly mentioned the rumor in the Discord that this could be his last hurrah. And with three senior starters and two potential one and done starters as well, it does make some sense. Yeah, I think he's onto something, Kai. I'm going with a fitter coach to win the league.
It does seem a younger, fitter coach will win this year. I'm pretty positive about that. Top five teams
Just
are
it
young,
does
fit
work
coaches.
out well that way. Yes.
Doug Gottlieb's press secretary says, great podcast for college basketball fans. It's a great listen. Awesome job covering all aspects of the sport. He especially loves the off-season breakdowns. The complaint is they release their shows on Friday, which doesn't give a lot of time to listen before the Saturday games, which a lot of the in-season podcasts are focused on. I know. Because I know this will be read on the show, a question I have for the crew is, if someone said the tournament would 100% be expanded to 76 teams next year, but on the other side, guaranteed it would never expand past that, would you take that deal?
I'm taking the deal. I like the
You or
question. I
no
love the
deal?
premise.
Yeah,
I'm taking it just because, yeah, I don't want to, I never want to see 96 crap with this. So
we shouldn't do
let's
that.
keep it at 76. We have a little bit more fun Tuesday, Wednesday, I guess. Kai, I'm also going to maybe start an internal push for more Thursday records. We'll see if
Okay,
that takes on water within
next
the
season.
Weave internal collective. Yeah.
Next season. Maybe next week.
Off season. We can do it in the off season. Come on.
Roslyn 1995 says best college basketball pod started listening in 2019. Wow, the Ball Watchers college basketball podcast. Writing because I'd like a few takes on our beloved Delta Devils after the recent hot streak. Looking forward to March, fellas. Yeah, if you don't follow again the Twitter account, Mississippi Valley State's basketball, it's awesome. They beat Texas Southern. They beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. They were really close to Alcorn. The team is kind of feisty. Shout
Yeah.
out Mississippi Valley State. Michael James. Michael James, best
I
player.
believe, yeah, they were up at half at Jackson State too. Like
Impressive.
had a lead with like 7 minutes left in that game. I love that they're surging a little bit. It's sad that they have never gotten out of 365 all season long
Tough.
in Ken Palm, but I'm glad they're getting some D1 wins, Kai, and actually starting to, point up. I'm sure James will be
Not
not on
quite.
their roster next year. But
Gosh, Western Illinois is 364. Boy, holy cow. Finally, oh, sorry, there's two more. Goodness gracious. Dame Axe just says, love the pod, so thank you for that. And then finally, Onyx and Joe. Best college basketball podcast in the business, has been listening to the Weave for years, never misses an episode. Fantastic. The perfect podcast for someone like me who doesn't follow college basketball as religiously as other sports. Excuse me. Easily digestible information and stats with great chemistry. Question is, from a strictly television viewing perspective, do you have a favorite court to watch games on? I've always been partial to elevated courts myself, and even though I'm not a Vandy fan, I catch many of their home games for this reason. Keep up the great work. Can't wait for March. Best court. Hmm.
the one thing I liked while playing, and I'm not sure I love it as much on TV, having seen it a couple places, is like where the lights are off on the crowd and it's like just the court that's lit. I will say I'm glad Matt's gone for this, but the Duke TV viewing experience is really good.
Solid.
Like the camera angle, the crowd's always into it. The crowd's in the right spot. The student section being on the sideline instead of like behind the basket, so you get to see them all game. That's really good. That's honestly the first one that comes to mind, Kai. I generally prefer some of the smaller venues. Like the Kennel's pretty good.
Small
I like
videos.
St. Mary's. Yeah.
Yeah, Houston Christian's middle school gym is just kind of funny to watch a game in. You feel like you're watching AAU. FIU we have to mention because the beach court is just awesome with the waves. I like unique designs on a court. I don't know how they play on that. It's very confusing. Like, how do you know you're behind the line? I don't know.
Same as Oregon, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the
busy.
silhouettes, the city skyline silhouettes, if it's unique. Those are pretty cool.
I
Um,
don't know if I like the glass courts for the Big 12 tournament. I know they look cool, but are we sure glass is a good idea? I know it's different glass, not going to break, but are we sure that's the best idea?
Yeah, I'm nervous about that. Oh, one other one I've always liked because it's a really low angle camera is Washington.
Hmm,
The camera angle has been I don't it's unique. I think it's probably not for everybody because it's not as high of a TV angle, but as I scroll through teams, that one jumps out. So there's an answer.
love it. Thank you for joining us. That's our podcast for this week. Again, we're back. Best Bet Show on Saturday, 10 a.m. Central. Next week, we have a podcast again. We might be coming to you live on Thursday for that one. So stay tuned on that. And then after that, it's our March Madness March Madness marathon pod, which will be on Monday night. So looking forward to that one
Yeah,
as well. Right after
we'll be live for it, right? We'll do it live Monday night,
yeah, we'll do it
and then
live.
should be up for people's consumption by Tuesday morning for
Very
sure.
excited about that. All right, be good. Enjoy college basketball. Enjoy the conference tournament.